What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Natalie, and today I want to talk about the best bench variations you can do to grow your bench press. It's okay if I record, Doug? All right. I just wanted to make a bench press video. Okay. Oh my gosh, I know. Hello. So we're competitive powerlifters. We do a lot of benching, a lot of one count pauses on the chest and pressing up. So what can you do throughout your training week to actually kind of add some variation and challenge to your bench press to help grow your comp lift on the platform? If you are a beginner powerlifter who's been training for like less than 1 year, you probably don't need to do a ton of variation. You can just do your comp bench press, competition style bench press, 3 times a week and focus on that technique. But if you are an intermediate to advanced level lifter, you probably have to do a little bit more than just straight bench pressing with one count pause every day. All right, so today I'm going to talk about my 3 favorite variations that I found as a lifter and a coach of what I think grows your competition bench press. Like, as a universal rule, there are, close grip benchers, wide grip benchers, people with large arches, people with like teeny tiny arches. But as a whole, I think these 3 variations are the best to grow pretty much anyone's bench press. Number 1 is going to be tempo bench press, meaning a slow descent down to the chest, pausing and pressing back up. Typically, I program this as a 3 to 4 count down, a 1 count pause on the chest, and pressing back up with no concentric tempo. So tempo down, pause, push back up. I like this variation for 2 main reasons. 1, it really cues very strong leg drive. You will not be able to push any sort of weight on a tempo bench press if you do not have strong leg drive. The control down, being able to hold that positioning is what's really going to challenge like pretty much any lifter. And when we see breakdown in the bench press, it's typically from the chest falling, collapsing, not keeping it elevated to meet the barbell, or something else going on that can stem from the leg drive. When it comes to setup on bench press, I am a flat foot elitist, and I think tempo bench press does a really great job of really cueing that push through the foot and keeping everything nice and flat. I will argue this any day that I think you will get way more leg drive from having a flat foot on the ground than just pressing through your toes, because if you look at surface area alone, you have so much more ground to push through when you have a nice flat foot. So tempo bench press is number 1 in my books of what's going to really grow your competition style lift from anyone who's an intermediate to elite level lifter. My second favorite variation, which comes back to the chest elevation to upper body positioning, is going to be Larsen bench press. Larsen bench press is performing a bench press without the use of leg drive. So going back, the opposite of kind of tempo bench press, where you really want to cue leg drive and a strong push to the floor, Larsen just takes that away. So we're mimicking the competition style bench press almost to a T with the same setup, same approach, but then just extending our quads and letting our feet come off the ground. What this does is it kind of forces you, the lifter, to maintain, 1, your breath that you're holding. Hopefully everyone's holding a breath in their chest throughout the bench press. And 2, forces your like upper body positioning not to move in the absence of leg drive. So are your scaps still retracted? Do you still have a big breath into your chest, elevating yourself up to meet the barbell as you bring it down? Are you doing all these things without the use of leg drive? So then when we do add in leg drive, your positioning feels excellent and you're not only relying on that to hold your overall bench press arch. You can set up your arch using leg drive, but you want to make sure that you can hold it, and you can practice this by doing Larsen bench press. So I'm a huge Larsen fan. I think I've done Larsen bench press for like 4 years. I love it. Larsen is valuable, I think, for any lifter from beginner to advanced. Now, my third favorite variation can flip-flop between the 2 depending on the day, but I think it's either going to be Spoto bench press or close grip bench press. Spoto bench press is similar to tempo, to where we're controlling the descent a little bit, maybe 2 to 3 count down, but instead of pausing on your chest, you're pausing probably about 2 inches off your chest. Maintaining leg drive into the floor like you would on a normal bench press, but just controlling that descent down, pausing off your chest and pressing back up. I like this to kind of cue more control on the descent, but maybe not for a lifter who cannot handle a ton of intensive kind of like challenge that you would with a tempo bench press. So if they can't do like full range of motion, that's just too much volume for them, or it's too intensive, or they have some sort of like limiting factor with their shoulders or something, Spoto is really, really great at kind of helping lifters control that descent down so they're not dropping the bar or getting wonky with their positioning from one side to the other. I really like that. It kind of evens out the bar path as they come down, and probably going back to that leg drive helps them with leg drive as well. Or Alternatively, if you have a wider grip bench press and you want to kind of do a variation that's going to challenge perhaps your triceps a little bit more and kind of do something in the off season to build up your bench press, close grip is probably going to be your best friend. So with close grip, you can bring your hands in, typically, let's say like 2 to 3 fingers width would probably be a good starting point for most people with close grip bench press if you have a really wide grip on your comp bench press style. If you already start with a close grip bench, there's really no point of doing the close grip bench press variation. You're probably better off choosing something like tempo, Larsen, Spoto, pin press, something else outside of another close grip day, because it's not going to really benefit you if you already have a close grip bench press. Like, what's the added value that you're actually getting if you already start with a close grip and just bring it in a little bit more? Probably not that much. But if you're a wide grip bench presser, close grip is a really great option to kind of target the triceps, give yourself a little bit more range of motion, challenge you in a new way. And again, you're still doing a barbell bench press movement in your program. There are many, many different ways to implement these variations, and by no means do you need to go out there and start benching like 5 times a week and do comp bench press one day, Larsen another, pin press another, close grip another, Spoto another. Like, that is not the way that anyone needs to implement these. But if you are kind of stuck in your bench press max, then perhaps implementing a bit more variation, a different way to challenge yourself through a close grip day or a tops of 3 on tempo bench press day. Like, there could be some sort of stimulus you're just missing. Implementing these variations, I've really seen excellent growth from myself and my lifters just by using these and progressing them over blocks and blocks. All right, that's going to do it for me today. Let me know if you have any questions about bench pressing or variation down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye.